What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl, Shalane Nicole, with Drinks After Work with me. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a great weekend. Happy Labor Day. Do you say Happy Labor Day? Or was it just Labor Day? Whatever. The last unofficial weekend of this summer, Labor Day, Memorial Day is obviously like the kickoff, and Labor Day is like the send-off because everybody's going back to school. It's time to buckle in. Everybody enjoyed their summer. I hope everybody enjoyed their summer. I had a pretty decent summer. I'm not one to really go out like that, so it's just like when I do. I pop out and show out, you know what I mean? But for the most part, just, enjoy the things that I wanted to do. The first part of the summer was a headache. It was a headache. But the last 2 months of the summer, I was able to really enjoy myself and regroup, and basically just did like a whole 360 in who I am and what I, want to do in life and where I'm headed. Or hoping this is where I'm headed. So it was a change that needed to happen, but I definitely did enjoy the being more outgoing, saying yes to more things within reason that I never really did in other summers, honestly. So I hope everybody had a great weekend, like I said, and you guys enjoyed yourself. And with that also being said, so this summer I also said that I wanted to do the Drinks After Dark, which was basically the summer version of Drinks After Work. Because it's summertime, a lot of people are out. Some people, well, for the teachers at least, and other people who are able to take the summer off, they have, the summer to do whatever they want, and a lot of people take vacations and they don't spend that much time in the office during the summer. Whereas, after the summer, September, and then moving forward, everybody jumps back into the groove of things. So that's why I named it Drinks After Dark, really, to really just talk about more risky things. And I really didn't touch too much on it. I think I probably did 1 or 2 episodes about getting a little, deeper into the conversation when it comes to sex and what you love and what you don't love, the risky conversations. But, trial and error. And next summer will be better. Next summer I have more of a clean, crisp idea of how I want everything to go for next summer. So next summer, Drinks After Dark is going to be a whole nother level. But this one was a good trial to see, how I had to move about doing certain things. And definitely financial. You have to make sure you have finance. Baby, let me tell you something. Having a podcast and even putting everything together, it is a lot of money that goes into this. So many people are like, oh, Michelle, we need to record, show your face. And I want to. I have no problem doing that. But it's the space. I want to have a good space in my home that I can get the good background, good lighting, the whole thing. So I found some things that I'm gonna get. I'm not gonna, say everything, but I have it all in my head. I have it all written down. I did a whole lot of thinking and writing and numbers and everything just to see what I'm gonna do. But nonetheless, this is the first episode for back to Drinks After Work. The first episode of I call it the third quarter of the year. And this one, we are talking about women and being too independent. Now, this topic came up, basically, I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers, and he had said that that's something that he realizes with a lot of women nowadays, where we are just too independent for men, or we act as though we're too independent for men. And I guess it's a two-sided thing, but on this one, gentlemen, I have to give it to us ladies, because yeah, we are, and we're too independent now because we had to be. And I know that's going to be a very conversational, question or topic, subtopic, obviously, from this topic. But it's true. We had to be. There's a lot of women who I even have come encounter with who have said they rather live in, and this goes back to the episode what I did about living in your soft woman era and us women not wanting to live in this masculinity that we have put ourselves in, but had to put ourselves in because of the lack of manliness, if we can say that word, right? Masculinity, you can use that word too. Protection, giving, providing, that we were expecting of a man to give us. We are now having to give it to ourselves. And the only way, and let me first say this, the only way that any of these conversations that we even have can happen is if we are honest with taking accountability for our actions. So first, having to take accountability for our actions as far as what we're doing and what we're not doing. So a coworker of mine, also I brought this conversation up to her, and she said that she had to go into her independency. She had to go into her masculinity because she had been constantly failed by men who had claimed that they, and this goes back to the conversation that I had even last week, where a lot of guys on the live, which I do Wednesdays and Fridays, they have said that a lot of us, women were picking the wrong guys. Instead of hearing, and some do say, I would say like one or two have said that a lot of men are, agreeing to me when I said, and my other friends and other people who have joined the live, other women who have joined the live, that said that a lot of men put up this facade that they are this type of person when they know deep down that they're really not. That may be somebody who they're trying to be, that may be somebody who they want to be, but that's not where they are right now. And a lot of the times we as women date them because this is what they give us, this is what they show us, and at some point it falls off, and at some point it just stops. And just like as I said that, the woman at my job, she said the same thing, that she found herself feeling like there's never gonna be a man who's honestly just gonna keep her in her soft girl era, keep her in her soft woman era, to where she doesn't have to be overly independent, because men today, and not all, because there are some who, very few, but there are some who are willing to take that masculinity from us and want us to basically hand it over to them and make sure that we stay in our feminine role, and being soft and being less aggressive and being able to say, you know what, if this is what you want to do, like if you're giving a directive, like, babe, let's do this, let's do that. And us being able to say, okay, no problem. And trusting that you have our best interests at heart. There's nothing more, honestly, gentlemen, if you think I'm lying, ask any female that you know. There's nothing more that a woman wants than to feel secure and protected, but also laid back, not having to worry about a thing when she's in a relationship with you. Like, that's one thing that those are three things that every woman wants, but that's one thing that every woman desires, is to be in that soft woman era. And again, it goes back to the old episode that I did last season, where I was talking about living in your soft woman era and staying there. And prior to meeting the guy who I was dating at the time, I told myself after my last relationship that I was no longer going to put myself in this driver's seat position. I was no longer going to wear the pants in any more relationships that I was in. And I was doing it because that's what I thought I needed to do. I always had to show what it is that I could bring to the table. And I think as women who are independent or are, I want to say like aggressively independent, we tend to do that because of how we were raised, or of what we think a man would want to show our cards. Like my mom always used to say, like, don't show your cards, too quickly, because it could, it can make a man want to use you. And at the time, I'm like, I'm not listening to her. I'm not really thinking about it. I'm saying yes, but I'm really not thinking and comprehending what it is she's saying. But it's true. Like, doing the whole independent thing and stepping into that role of, okay, so let's do this. Okay, let's do that. Plan this trip, plan that trip, plan this date, plan that date. Let's do this, let's do that. Hey, let's do this, let's do that. Or do you need this or do you need that? Okay, I got this for you. I got that for you. The constant, like, I don't want to say, I'm trying to think of like the actual word that I want to say, but like the constant, I don't want to say clinginess either, or the attachment, or the need to just want to do more than what you need to do, I think also turns a lot of guys off. As much as they like it, I feel like it also turns them off, because I feel like we're not allowing them to be that provider and that protector. But in the same sense, I can also hear it now. I swear I can hear it now. Women saying, well, why don't you just do it? Why don't you just show us? But do we even give them the time to do it? You know what I mean? Like, do we even allow them to do that? But this is not me siding with the guys. So let me make that clear. I'm not siding with the men right now. I'm really, gentlemen, I'm sorry. I'm siding with the ladies right now. It's the fact that a lot of men have failed in the department of putting us in our soft woman era. And I know I'm going to get slack for this, and I know I'm going to get a lot of people saying something about it, but it's okay. I want that. I want the conversation. I want to make your blood boil a little bit. But I honestly feel that. I feel like a lot of men have failed and are failing at being the protector, being the provider, and putting us in this soft woman era to where we don't have to be hyper independent, where we don't have to be the boss all the time, where we don't always have to be the director all the time. We don't want to. We really don't. And when my coworker brought this up to me, I had to explain this to him. It was two of them. I had to explain to the both of them that this is not something that we really want to do. And one of them said, yes, y'all do. Yes, y'all do. Y'all can't help yourselves. Why else wouldn't you guys do it? And I'm like, well, we're doing it because you're not stepping up. But how are you expecting us to step up if you're not even allow it to happen? I said, so when am I supposed to let it happen? Isn't it supposed to happen the first moment, the first date? Aren't you supposed to show me that first date and then continue to carry it on to show me that, hey, I'm serious about you, and hey, I really want this? When do you then step up to say that I can step back? Or when do you allow for me to sit in that passenger seat from our first interaction or the first conversation that we have? When do you put your foot forward? That was my whole thing. So when I was saying that, one of the other coworker, my female coworker, she came in and she was like, I also feel like a lot of you are scared to do it because you feel like not even, what she said, she said something about finances. Like, you guys feel that holding and wearing the pants is more like you have to finance everything. If that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? For men, it's expensive to date. Like, you're going to have to shell out the money. And for a lot of men, they refrain from stepping in. And this is how she said it. A lot of men refrain from stepping into that position because they know that with that role comes financial role. And if they don't have it, they can't step into it. So they want to see what you're willing to do first before they put their money out. But then I also feel like a lot of men get comfortable. They get comfortable. They don't want, when they see a woman do that, they don't then jump in and say, okay, hey, well, wait, I got it now. I got it. Don't worry about it. You did enough. You paid for that date. You did this. You did that. You took me here. You took me there. Now I got you. Now that you've been shown this type of woman, this is who she is. This is what she can do. She can hold her own. Now, where do you then step in and say, okay, I got this. I can now take over. And you don't see a lot of men doing that. You don't hear a lot of men doing that. A lot of men just continue letting this shit continue. And then eventually the woman gets burnt out and she's like, okay, so now what? What are you going to do for me? And I wouldn't say that you see it in a lot of relationships, but you do hear people say that, like some women do say that they are tired, that they feel like they're the only ones in it, that they feel like they're the only ones giving in their relationship and they're not getting, it's not being reciprocated back to them. If men were to step up and take charge the way that they want to take charge and really be that protector and that provider, a lot of you can put us in that era and keep us in that era, keep us in our femininity, remove that masculinity from us that we want to be removed. We don't want it. We really don't. Like, contrary to belief, we really do not want to be masculine. We don't like it. It like I said, it's draining. It really drains us to have to do everything, to feel like we're the protector, to feel like we're the provider. It's like you claim you want to be a man. You hear a lot of men say, well, I'm the man. You beat on your chest. I got testicles and a penis and you need to respect me. But then it's like, well, what are you doing? Besides having all of that and all the testosterone inside of your body, what else are you doing besides being a physical man? What else is it? And then it goes back to when, the other conversations that I've had on the live where men have said, like, they're being sassy, or they're being a simp, or they're being not like when the ladies were saying too that men want to be chased nowadays. And it really does feel like that. It feels like men want to be chased. Like, you guys want us to see you as the prize. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some good qualities of you. And there are some things that in a man, yes, we can be proud of, or we can say, thank God this man has that, or this is such a plus that he has that. There are great things that can come with you. But the chasing has to come from you. You have to want to pursue me. You're going to ask me to marry you. I'm not asking you to marry me. You're asking me to marry you. You're asking me to be your girlfriend. You're giving me the space and the opportunity to come into your space and your opportunity. Like, you're allowing me into your world. Yes, I'm allowing you in my world if I want it to happen. But at the end of the day, you're the one who has to make that decision if we build or if we don't. And if we feel like we're having to be the ones to solely have this conversation, or we're the ones that solely have to do everything in order to get some type of movement going, we're going to get burnt out, and we're going to start to feel like, so I have to take care of the children, take care of my husband, take care of the house. That's a lot for somebody to do. And then still have to work. That's a lot. And I know people will say, oh, well, women who are married, they do it already. Yes, but I guarantee you there are other women who are married who don't have that emotional feeling of like being burnt out. Like they still have that husband or that boyfriend, or, you know, not necessarily married, but that husband or that boyfriend who takes off some part of the burden for them, where they feel like they can, again, sit in their sofa because their husband got it or their boyfriend got it. They don't have to worry about it. So at what point do you as men say, we need to step up, holding each other accountable for the fact that, damn, we really are not doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're coming up with every excuse. We're giving every reason as to why we shouldn't. We're telling, lies about this. We're saying that. We're saying this. When do y'all hold each other accountable or hold yourself accountable for the nonsense and the bullshit that y'all not really doing? What's also interesting is that one of my friends, he's a realtor in DC, and he was on a podcast about real estate, and he said that there are more women getting homes and buying homes than there are men. There are more women buying homes, single, buying homes than there are men buying homes for themselves. So again, gentlemen, I ask you, what are you doing? And I understand the whole narrative. Like I said, I don't, matter of fact, fuck this. I understand. Yes, life is hard. It's also hard for us too. It's not just you. We're fighting things just as much as you are. But where do you step up and realize, okay, what else can I do to make something work? What else can I do that fits in with my life, that is a path that I want to walk down? And I'm not saying you have to have everything put in order by a certain age, because I swear every year I feel like I'm just like changing my route and trying to figure out what path God is trying to tell me to go down. But at least having an idea or putting into play exactly what it is you're thinking of and making it happen. Where do y'all then say, and even in relationships, when do y'all then say, you know what, I'm tired of being for the streets. I'm tired of just dating just to date. I'm tired of dating and romanticizing dating, but not being in a relationship and not, I don't understand that. And another friend of mine, we were having this conversation, and he definitely said that he wants to date someone, do all the couple shit, but not be a couple. I said, excuse me? Why? And then if feelings happen, then feelings happen. Huh? But technically that's dating in the beginning, and then eventually you ask her to be your girlfriend. Is it not? Am I wrong? I don't know. That's just how I see it, because that's what you would do in the beginning to get to know someone. You do all the couple things. Although we shouldn't be having, technically, if we're being honest, we shouldn't be having sex until marriage. But then again, I know I'll be wearing tan at my wedding, not white. But needless to say, that was his idea, and that's what he wanted. But at what point do you then say, okay, it's not working for me this way, so maybe I should try it the other way? Maybe I should try a way where I actually see it working for some of the men that either you've come across on the internet, or men that you may know personally who have changed their trajectory of how they were acting one way and now they're a whole different person. When do you start to put yourself in environments and around people who are dreaming of the dreams that you are, living the dreams that you're dreaming, and putting into practice and putting into motion what you have yet to put into motion, so that way you can get there? And I find that to be very big, even, not just for men, but just also for women as well. Surrounding yourself with groups of people who are exactly what it is and who it is you're trying to be. But that's a whole different episode, because that one's coming up too. Nonetheless, being independent, like I was saying, it is a thing that, yes, a lot of us women are having to deal with and having to go through. more than I feel like before. And I could be wrong. This honestly could have been a thing like since our great grandparents. But then again, I don't know. I wasn't there back then, so I can't tell you. But at least for the women today, nowadays, it definitely seems as though we are having to step into this independent role. I don't need a man, although we do, role that is really, I want to say, is really our protection against nonsense that we have constantly accepted, probably in our 20s, that we've accepted in our teenage years, that now in our 30s and 40s, we're just like, yeah, no, we're not dealing with it. And it comes off as we're too independent instead of it being we're protecting ourselves from the past reoccurring. So protecting ourselves from, in relationship wise, not going back to men who were just using us for our money or just for our looks or just to gain something and take away something from us but give us back nothing. Relationship wise, self-love wise, having to be independent as far as, again, I guess I can go hand in hand with the relationship, financially as well. Having had been in situations and relationships where it was just like, you know what, I'm doing too much as far as I'm offering too much and I'm getting nothing in return. Yes, it can make someone very independent and it can make someone feel like, so what are you going to do for me? But I feel like, gentlemen, you have to stop looking at it as a threat. You have to stop looking at it as a challenge. You have to look at it as actually not even just a challenge. I would say look at it as a challenge that you can break and an obstacle that you can overcome. Because if this is somebody who you really want to be with, if this is somebody who actually gives, or you see qualities of a wife, or you see qualities of a girlfriend, of a long-term partner in this person, you're willing to break it down. You're willing to pull that independency back and put her in this soft woman era. It's not going to be easy. It's not. Because for a lot of people, that's just what they've been accustomed to. No matter what relationship or how long their last relationship lasted, or when the last one was, she's going to be independent because that was her safe haven, that protected her from dealing with men who were bullshitting her this entire time. So if this is what you really want, and that's somebody who you really want to be with, then you'll find it in yourself to be like, you know what, let me tear this wall down. Let me take some of these bricks down, because I know she is this way because of the men who did her dirty back then. And instead of putting the blame on us, oh, you're picking the wrong one, you're picking the wrong man, you're picking the wrong man, you're picking the wrong man. How about some of these men have probably just failed her? How about some of these men have just turned her into this person that she really didn't want to be, but she ended up being because men have lied to her. Men have been very deceitful. Men have cheated on her. Men have used her for her money, used her just for her body. Whatever the case may have been, put the blame on other men instead of putting the blame on women as to why we're just so independent, and why we always say we don't need you, and why we always act like we're good without you. It's lonely. Like, don't let nobody tell you it's not. It's lonely. It can get very lonely when you're by yourself. But a lot of us would rather deal with being lonely than being lied to. A lot of us would rather be lonely than being played with, manipulated, gaslit. A lot of us would rather stick to our independence because that's what's keeping us safe, instead of going back to where we were just relying on a man to do everything, or hoping that he would do everything, and then turns around and bites us in our damn ass. So if you guys have a comment or question about why women are so independent, or you have something that you want to speak about when it comes to women and independency, or you just want to talk about this episode, period, I'm going to be on live on Wednesday, but it'll probably be early Wednesday because Wednesday's my mama's birthday. Shout out to my mom. It's her birthday on Wednesday. So I'll probably go on live. I'm trying to think of when I'm going to actually go on. I'm probably going to go on live early. It's probably going to be like 3 o'clock. Yeah, I'll probably do 3 o'clock. I'm going to do 3 o'clock Wednesday. It'll be an early live, so whoever can jump on. If not, obviously leave the comments on any of the platforms and I will definitely see it and read it and I will reply to it. You could also leave your comments on the TikTok, because who doesn't love TikTok? I mean, hopefully you guys all have TikTok, and obviously leave them on IG. Any comments or any questions or whatever you want to talk about as far as this woman being independent and men not stepping up to the plate, really just not stepping up to the plate and leaving us in our independency. Take us out of our masculine energy, gentlemen. Bring us into the feminine. We want to stay there. We don't want to be hardcore. We don't like it. It's ghetto. We don't like it. We're not a fan. Keep us soft. We like to be gentle. We want to be passenger princess. Keep us there. But if y'all don't know how to, I need y'all to surround yourselves with people who do. People who have changed their whole way of dating or changed their way of dealing with women. Change it up. Like, y'all keep asking and saying that y'all don't want the same shit over and over, but y'all keep doing the same shit over and over. So I'm confused. Which one is it? But nonetheless, I thank you guys for listening. Oh, and also, so like I said, Wednesday is going to be the live. Friday will not be the live. I will not be doing a live on Friday. And there will not be an episode next Monday. But the Monday after that, there will be continuing episodes every Monday. So I hope you guys have a great week. Welcome to September. Yes, September is finally here. The third quarter. I call the third quarter of the year. The wonderful season of fall is soon approaching. I love fall. I'm just so over the summer. It's too hot. I'm sweating in places I should not be sweating in. I just don't like it. I'm just not a fan. But yes, guys, thank you for listening. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you guys have a great day tomorrow. Whatever happened today, leave it in today. Don't worry about it. Don't bring it into tomorrow. Have a good night. Love you. Bye.